Good evening and welcome to the regularly scheduled Zoning Board of Appeals meeting, January the 6th, 2025, the first one of this year. You're in America's hometown, Plymouth, Massachusetts, for all those who are watching and our great audience out here. We have some informal cases to take care of tonight and one new case, and we will do that right now. Case number 4145, Richard Tachi, Merrill Engineering, 25 Wellington Road, and I will ask the clerk to read the ad into the record, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Case number 4145, excuse me. The Plymouth Zoning Board of Appeals on the zoning bylaw will hold a public hearing in the Great Hall, Town Hall, 26 Court Street, Plymouth, Mass. On Monday, January 6, 2024, at 7 p.m. to hear the petition of Richard Tachi, requesting a special permit required per section 2039C to expand a pre-existing non-conforming structure and per section 203D1B2 to waive the required side yard setback to construct an addition on the property of 25 Wellington Road, shown as Lot 669 on Plat 44 of the Assessor's Map dated January 1, 2024, in an R2 OS zone. The petitioner or his or her representative and any other person desiring to be heard on this matter should appear at the time and place designated.
Thank you, Mr. O'Reilly. Seated on this case will be Mr. Leary, Mr. O'Reilly, Mr. Conroy, Mr. Connor, and myself. And for the record, your name, please.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My name is Chris Sanderson with Merrill Engineers and Land Surveyors, and tonight I am representing the petitioner, Richard Tachi, who is also the owner of 25 Wellington Road. So 25 Wellington Road is a small 5,000 square foot lot. It's bordered down on the southern side by Wellington Road with residential properties surrounding in all of the directions. It's kind of hard to see up here, but if you look in the upper right-hand corner, this depicts the existing conditions of the lot. So currently there's a single-story, two-bedroom dwelling located on the property, constructed around 1950. So Mr. Tachi is looking to do a renovation project. That renovation consists of a couple components. The first component is a second-story addition, which is entirely within the existing footprint of the structure. That is 22 by 30 feet, I believe. And then the second main component is an addition, which is a single-story addition that comes off the front of the structure here and kind of fills those negative voided spaces. There's also a small little covered porch and stairs coming off the property. So as mentioned, this is considered expansion of a pre-existing non-conforming structure. The existing house currently sits at 7 feet off of that side abutting property line. That is to the roof overhang. And we're essentially following that existing range line with that 10-foot bump out addition here. So that is within that 10-foot minimum required side setback, but we're not getting any closer. So we're maintaining that setback. We meet all of the other pre-existing non-conforming setbacks, which are the 20 front, 10 side, and 10 rear. Mr. Tachi did reach out to the neighbor over at 29 Wellington. We do have their full support of the project. We included a letter that they signed in our filing. And we did receive town comments, engineering, DPW, which we updated a revised plan. That's kind of why you're seeing all these construction-related details on the plan. And we did receive a letter back from DPW stating that everything had been satisfied on their end. Just quickly show you this. So these are some architectural elevations created by BF Architects, just to kind of give you an idea of what the proposed house looks like. Two-story. We're not increasing the bedroom count, so no changes to the septic are necessary. And really, he's just looking to add some more livable space to the small single-family dwelling. I think that pretty much covers it. I'm more than happy to answer any questions from the board.
Yeah, yeah, by the way, the plans were excellent, I've gone over, you just about hit everything that we usually ask for. Do have one question for you. What is this cement washout pad?
Yeah,
What
that-
is that?
So so they're actually gonna be pouring a new foundation, sorry, I should have mentioned that. It's poured in the same exact footprint. So when the vehicles and the concrete trucks come in and out, they basically wash any equipment
Right.
in a little depressed area with an impermeable barrier. Basically keeps it all in one spot where they can then pick that barrier up, clean it out. It was actually a comment from the engineering department, so.
Oh, okay, because I pictured a concrete lined area, I'm looking at, what in the heck would that be used
Yeah,
for?
just a little dug depression with an impervious barrier that, they can wash any concrete covered equipment and kind
Yeah.
of contain it all.
I used to use a pile of sand to
Yeah.
do that, but that's fine. Okay,
I walked up to the fence, but the dog started barking, and I didn't want the dog to get all upset.
I think our
so-
surveyors ran into him as well.
So, any other questions? I'm going to open this now to public comment. Is there anybody in this vast audience who would like to speak either in favor or against this petition? Seeing no one, I am going to close public comment and bring it back to the board. Have you anything else you would like to add?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a relatively straightforward project, and, I think that the neighbor that is being affected is happy with the project, so I think that's the most important thing.
Okay. I'm going to just ask, Jason, do you have anything you would like to add to this? No. Okay. All right. I guess we should look at the conditions.
most of them go away, other than
Yeah, I know.
first and the end. One and six should stay. The rest of these people, they'll put them on the plan.
Yeah. So we're going to, I await the board's pleasure.
Well, okay, so I'll move that we approve case number 4145 with the two conditions left.
I'll second that.
And Peter. Two conditions, number one, number six. Okay, I have a motion from Michael to approve case number 4145 with two conditions, condition number one and condition number six. And a second by Peter. Is there anybody opposed? All those in favor, please. It is unanimous.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.
All right, we are now going to move into some other business, some informal hearings that we have to take care of this evening. And the first one, I'm going to let you
Oh, I
take
thought-
care of.
Oh, you can do that now? The first one's my order. Or you can change the order?
I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, boy, huh? Fun. Okay, so. It is,
No, 4123.
what, oh, there it is, yeah. Okay, so this is an informal hearing for a modification on a special permit that we just voted in a few weeks back or a month back. Sitting on this case will be Ed Conroy, Pete Connor, Tom Wallace, and myself. And what we would have to decide here first, guys, I assumed everybody looked at the plans, is whether you feel that this is a minor modification, or I think, and my feeling would be, we might want to have them reapply for a modification, because to me, moving that thing isn't quite as minor. But it's up to you, the board. Ed?
I'd like to see him present before I make a decision.
Okay. All right. Yeah, why don't you stand, you're gonna present what you want to do for the modification?
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members for the boards. My name is Hal Chuba. I'm a consulting engineer with offices at 112 State Road in Dartmouth, Massachusetts, and I represent the applicant and the owner of the property. If you recall, back in last August, we came here for a special permit to redevelop the existing gas station at 8688 Sandwich Street. Part of the development was to demolish the existing convenience store on the property, which was around 1,000 square feet, and also demolish the existing the commercial office building on 88 Plymouth, 88 Sandwich, and construct a 2,200 square foot convenience store, and we went through the site plan review and all the back and forth with DPW, and this board approved the special permit. Part of the approval was, at that time, the applicant wanted to keep the existing canopy and the pumps. And if I may, this is the proposed canopy, but I think that I'm not sure if, I think I sent 3 sheets to the,
Yeah, we did get.
well, you have 3 sheets, yeah, okay, so, oops. Am I,
It should be further than.
okay.
Yep, that's gonna make it go down, and that will make it go up.
Okay, great, thank you. Yeah, this is the new one. So this was approved back in August. As you can see, to the bottom of the sheet where the square or the dashed lines, that's the existing canopy. So the existing canopy has 3 fueling pumps underneath, and the canopy is 1,540 square feet, 1,540 square feet. And it sits 9.7 from the street, currently. There's 3 pumps. The pumps are parallel to the street. The applicant would like to demolish the canopy and construct a new canopy with 3 pumps. So it'll be the same number of pumps, 6 fueling positions, but this way, with this layout, the pumps would be perpendicular to the street and to the building. And this way, you'll have an easier access around the pumps. So if you're, whatever we all know gas stations, and depends on where your gas tank on what side is, sometimes it's hard to maneuver from one side to another. This way, it's a lot easier to maneuver around the pumps, and this is what we call a dive-in position or layout. And if you're familiar with gas stations, when you go and you look across, most of the new gas stations now, they have the convenience store, they have the parking that is perpendicular to the against the building, like we have this case here, and then you have the pumps perpendicular to the building or to the street. With this layout, the new canopy would be slightly smaller, not by law, but it'll be 1,496 square feet, so that's about 44 square feet smaller. But it would be set 17.6 and 18.2 feet from the street. So we're moving the canopy back by another 9 feet, making it more conforming with the, will be still non-conforming structure, as we have the original canopy is an existing non-conforming, as it sits 7.9 feet from the street. This one will be 18 feet from the street, and it would meet the rear setback. I did send a request to Denise. I explained the process, and I asked if we can do this through an administrative modification to the and I think with the site plan, they looked at the site plan. I think Mr. Silva's here tonight too, and they looked at this and they said, it's up to the board. If the board thinks this is a modification of, could be as a modification of the previously approved special permit, and it could be done by, informally by, like we did the last time with the, I think we revised the site and we added parking to the rear of the building, and we came to this board and you wrote a letter to the, so that's why we're here. So we think it's an improvement because you're taking an existing non-conforming structure, you're making it more conforming. Obviously, we can't meet the setback because of the lot, the shape of the lot and all that, so can't meet the 30-foot setback from the street, but we're making it more conforming by almost double the conformity and slightly smaller, and the maneuver or the traffic circulation around the pumps is improved and safer. So we hope that the board will find this could be approved or with administratively. That's the request.
So I would be fueling, looking at the building, not.
Correct.
Not like I do now.
Right, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you moved that back. So is there, and yet you can come in from either direction? Is that
Correct.
true? Okay, so is there really adequate room in the front
Yes,
with the street there? If I've
Oh,
got-
yes,
If I've got
yes.
3 vehicles
Yeah.
sitting there loading up and I
Yeah.
want to get around them?
yes. We put the template, we have from the center of the pump to the back of the sidewalk, we have over 30 feet, so.
Over 30 feet.
Yeah.
My truck's 18 feet, so. It's tight. I think it's tight, but, Okay, thank you.
Ed?
So if I want to go first, I think it's, I did the math, it's 2%, 2.9% smaller.
Small.
Makes it more conforming. So it said it's 2.9% smaller. It's back, it was 9.7 feet to the curb. Now it's back to 18.6, so it's non-conforming. I usually look at the 5% rule, whether it's modifications needed. It's less than 5%, it's 2.9%. And so I'm going to say that it's more conforming and that I'm okay approving this informally.
Okay. Tom, before, even though you,
I'm still trying to figure the math side.
He did it for you.
So how I did the math. So we
No,
had.
that's okay.
We believe you. We believe you.
I was facetious.
All right, okay. I'm a tax guy.
No, I
Kel?
have no.
Kel?
I like that it's smaller and it's pulled back, but I do share Peter's concern about if there's enough turning radius there, especially if people are at the, not only by the street, but if people are backing out from the convenience store as well. So I do have a concern about that.
Yes, you're allowed to.
In my,
Just the same as an alternate would
Never
be.
shut you off.
well, I'm not sitting on the case, but in my opinion, and in my eyes, it is a major modification. It is a change. Even though it's less, it's still a change, and we should have engineering take a look at it and see if, like Peter's concerned, the traffic really does work right. And, isn't that what we're sitting here supposed to do? Make sure that all of these things are really, really what they appear to be?
Right.
But that would
Yep.
be,
No,
if I
and-
was sitting on the case, that would be my opinion, that it is a major.
Well, I guess for him, you're lucky
Change.
you're not sitting on the case, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so my opinion about this is I like the direction better. When you first had the first set of plans, I kept thinking to myself, because the parking spaces are used, or the pump spaces are used as parking spaces, and I'm thinking, well, you got 3 cars, and somebody goes in to get something, now everything's blocked. So I kind of like what you have there. The only thing I would want, though, myself, I have the same concern as Pete and the same as Mike is, I kind of like to have an internal, and this is where I would rather go with you applying for a modification rather than just this minor, we can just do it like this, informal. Because I would like to see what the traffic pattern's like. I mean, to be truthful with you, sometimes I wonder if it should actually go one way, and I'm not saying I want this, but it was something I'd like to have an opinion from the town and you, was maybe it should be coming in on the right-hand side and going out on the left, because they could pull through the set of lights and still go in there. I'm wondering about that now. No, I'm not saying that's what I want. I'm saying I'd like to see some kind of interior traffic thing showing us how you do it, or how you're gonna put the arrows, because I could see this being a mess. People going one way, somebody going another.
Another Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Myself, I would actually like to see it done with a modification rather than an informal like we are now, but that's just my opinion. So,
Mike, if I could comment a couple of things,
yes,
with your permission. Just to point the difference between the first, what I, see as the first plan and the second plan. The gray hashed area would indicate likely, I assume, fire apparatus movement through the site. And the first plan shows the movement to a very, very small intrusion into a hashed-out parking area, and clearly through the drive lanes. The second plan shows the fire apparatus having to drive up on sidewalk and through hashed areas, and up on a secondary sidewalk and barely out the curb cut, secondary curb cut, as well as the second plan indicating that the parking goes from 17 spaces down to 16 spaces. So there are two things right there alone that I think warrant additional review. A change in the fire apparatus pattern, the driving through the site for the fire apparatus, and parking loads are indicating changing alone. Those two things alone, I think, are substantive enough for additional review. That's just our opinion at the inspectional
It's
services.
a big difference than what was proposed.
it is.
Thank you. So I didn't know that.
Because I mean, my opinion is, I think what you come up with is a better idea. I just want to make sure that we
Sure.
make it a safe idea.
That's why we're here. I mean, I wrote I requested that through Denise, and, I was told to
Right.
come in front of this board, and that's what, we're here, and we presented.
And like I say, at this point, it might be more beneficial to even consider it one way. I'm not saying I want that done, but it might be better that we have engineering or DPW or somebody look at it and give an opinion on that, because I know on the dock in the box on Somerset Street, they had a two-way traffic going in one, and we were all looking at it going, are you kidding me? Right?
It won't work.
Right, and they made it one way, and actually it's successful, everything works great over there, So I'm not saying that that's where we want to go, but I think I'd like to have you work with them and do a
I can send
traffic,
it to,
more interior than exterior, but, so, what does the board think? Do you guys want to have them back apply for the modification? Yeah, cool, okay. So that's what we're gonna do.
okay.
Do we want? Yeah,
So I would make a motion that we consider
that it isn't a major,
the request before us on case 4123 to be a major modification, which will, I don't have to say any more than that, just a
Right,
major
yeah.
modification.
and a second? Second. All in favor? Kev?
Well, I didn't know I was sitting on this.
Yeah,
Tell me I was sitting on
I named you, didn't I?
Okay.
But he wasn't paying attention.
I didn't hear my name, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, actually, come to see, you're not. There's only four of us. There
I
you
was
go.
paying attention.
But I was trying to throw you under the bus.
Thanks a lot.
So what we'd like to do, I mean, unless anybody has another concern other than the traffic, and what Jason brought up too, as far as the apparatus for the fire department. And again, I think it's probably a good idea, it looks good, but I'd like to see, I'd hate to do this and then find out we made a big mistake. As actually Ed pointed out up at Santander Bank, when we put that in, Ed pointed out one time, is because the drive-in entrance is on the other end of the parking lot, everybody goes through the parking lot. There's been quite a few accidents of people backing in, and it's, like Ed said, it's kind of dangerous.
And the new Starbucks at exit 5, we're to see how that works. That hasn't been started yet. We'll see how many accidents that happens.
And drive-through.
Yes, that drive-through at the bank, Crumble Cookie, that'll be another cluster.
Yeah, and that's why I say, I think we'd like to see that, so that's the
Yeah,
only
yeah, that's
thing
no
we'd be.
problem.
I have a
Yep,
question. Since
sure.
no one-
Sure.
I noticed on the, oh, I'm sorry. I noticed that you've lost 2 parking spaces at the rear of the building.
No, one parking space.
Well, it looks like, maybe I'm wrong, it looks like the parking provided 3 employees at the rear of the building. Previously was 4. Okay, you've lost 1.
One, yeah, but we still, yeah, because what happened when we pushed the canopy back, we pushed the building back, so because one of the comments were the space between the fueling pad and the parking spaces, we do have 26 feet, so
Does
required is
that-
24, so that's, we have more than.
Does that mean you have one less employee?
No, but if you recall before, we had the parking on the southwest portion of the lot, and we wanted to provide pedestrian access from the side street, and we moved the parking to the back. But if you look at the table, we're required to have 10 parking spaces, and we're providing 16. So I don't think the parking, I know it was a concern, but we're still meeting there's no more than 2 employees on that, per shift on that facility. It's a small 2,000 square foot convenience store. If you put more than 2 employees, you go out of business, so.
Yeah. Well, we need
But-
an extra parking space.
But we do
we-
have 3
yeah.
employees in the back, and we have 6 extra parking spaces there, what we need per zoning. But, yeah.
Okay,
Well-
so you understand our concern.
No,
where
we do, I mean, that's why I'm here, and
Yep.
I'm trying to explain why we're doing this. And again, we'll run it by the fire department and
Well, be more engineering.
engineering and see what they think,
Yep.
But
Thanks to Jason, because you picked up something there that I hadn't picked up, and I think there's no doubt about it, this is a major change. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we are going to move on to case 4104, 2 and 4 South Spooner Street, a Mike Goodman project, and who will be representing? Oh, my goodness. Huh, what do you want to do, gentlemen?
Well, Mike's was just the plans, he was just turning in the plans for, which I did look over. I was fine with what I saw.
Yeah, just the
He did fulfill,
landscaping,
it was
yeah.
condition number.
6.
Yeah,
Nice looking building.
The 6. I mean, the only thing, there wasn't, the second floor plans weren't there,
yeah.
but I noticed that. First floor was there, but I'm not so worried about the interior, so,
Yeah, the architecturals have never really bothered me.
right,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
What do you want to do? Okay with?
I'm okay.
Let me
with-
see,
I'm okay.
hold on a minute. I'm going to, on case number 4104, I will be seating Mr. Conroy, Mr. Leary, myself, and Mr. O'Reilly. All right, gentlemen?
And then I'll make a motion that that we feel that they've fulfilled condition number 6.
Okay, motion. By Mike to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Kevin. All those in favor? It is unanimous. And we will move on to case number 4141, James and Kathleen Dubas, 163A Herring Pond Road, to address conditions 4 and 5. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm very well.
Would you, for the record, state your name, please?
Certainly. My name is Jeannie Covenant, and I represent Mr. and Mrs. Dubois at 163A Herring Pond Road.
Okay, go ahead.
So last we were here, I believe it was November 18th. We had 6 conditions.
Excuse me, is that microphone on?
The green light's on.
Green lights on?
The green light's on.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe I need to lean in.
Yeah, you bend it over a little.
Yes, so there were 6 conditions that we needed to meet in order to acquire our special permit. More importantly, I believe, well, let's just go through them. And I believe you all got a copy of my note. Okay, so item number 1, they are confirming that the front unit, the 2-bedroom dwelling closest to the road will be not a year-round dwelling, but will only be used within 8 months. That's it, maximum of 8 months. Number 2, the comments raised by the Department of Public Works. Of course, that goes to the septic, which I did submit a Title V approved septic system that was designed by Pete McIntyre from Engineering Works. And you should all have a copy of that. That was designed based on the amount of square footage of the lot and with a maximum of 3 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms being in the back unit closest to the road, and only 1 bedroom in the property we're discussing that's going to be renovated. Number 3, prior to the issuance of the zoning permit, a municipal lien certificate shall be provided to the building commissioner as evidence of payment of any back taxes. I did not, I do have it, I did pick it up, I requested it, but Denise said I didn't need to put a copy. So that will go with the permit when I submit for, it goes into zoning, so that's when that will get submitted.
That fellow right there will make sure of it.
Yeah. Final plans, number 4, final plans should include expanded structure on the western side shall be limited to 1 bedroom. The original plans that were submitted always showed it as 1 bedroom. I think there was some confusion because there was something on the tax record, I think, that stated it as a 2-bedroom, but the plans were always showing one as a laundry room and slash office, and then enlarging the existing bedroom into a master suite, which included the shower, like a bathroom and walk-in closet. So we didn't change the plans because they were actually correct. I think there just was some misconfusion.
Didn't you call that little addition part of it a half a bedroom?
I did not.
Somebody said something about like it was a little sewing room or half a bedroom or something like that.
No, the plan said laundry room, it said laundry room / office. Unless there's another plan kicking around that I don't know
What was
about.
bouncing around was the idea of, there was no closet in there, and there was confusion on whether it was a one-bedroom or not. And so also, so that's why we wanted to say one bedroom. It wasn't that deep. It was just, we wanted, because it wasn't clear to us that it was one bedroom. And then we kind of addressed the issue of ancillary structures and things like that. And we just wanted very clear ACU issues that we decided to overlap, and we just wanted to say one bedroom.
I'm good with it.
One bedroom it says, so
And
I think,
myself,
in my opinion, that I think that the plan, it meets number 4. I'm just stating on number 4.
and I think one of the main concerns was the plans we had before, I don't think they had the septic system on it, did
They
they?
did not.
Right,
They did not.
and that was the main concern. So in my opinion, you fulfilled the conditions 4 and 5.
Yep, I agree. It was, to me, it was about the septic.
Okay.
All right, so I'll make a motion that you fulfilled conditions 4 and number 5 on case number 4141.
I'll second that. Second.
Okay. And Peter. I have a motion by Mike to approve case number 4141 in the informal decision that they have fulfilled conditions 4 and 5. And a second by Peter. All those in favor? It is unanimous.
Thank you very much.
That concludes most of the business for this evening. We have some minutes for a couple of meetings, and that should be the end of it.
Do you want me to shut this up?
These are serious,
Yeah.
serious minutes.
It's all November 18th, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Has anybody any questions on it?
I'm all
Plaintiff's
set.
got my name right.
Michael?
I'm all set with them.
I'm good.
Okay, I await a motion from the board.
Motion to approve the minutes of November 18.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Peter to approve the minutes of November 18th and a second by Michael. All those in favor? It is unanimous. That, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the business for this evening. Thank you for, yes, sir.
So I'd like to make an informational request for the Landers one. Do we have a copy of the 2018 bylaw that they're trying to get under?
Yes,
All right, because I want to make sure I have it. 'cause I-
yes, but I will talk to Denise and have her pull that separately out and make sure you have it.
All right. So
Okay, I can probably recite it, but,
I just want to make sure I have it, because the differences, I want to make sure I understand the differences of what just an informational request is all I'm looking for.
okay.
Not to
because-
discuss anything,
Yeah,
just need the
we can't do
information.
that. All right, I will have her get you that information.
Well, it should give to all board
Yeah.
members.
Yes, actually, yes, for all of the board members. Would you make just a small note for that? She's real good at doing that. And, ladies and gentlemen, our executive secretary is ill this evening, and we miss her, although she is being represented quite well. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much for jumping into the playpen. That concludes tonight's business. Thank you very much. Good night.